They can't stop them. They only won the undefeated team with a pass.
Everybody sit down. Grab your popcorn.
Let's put on a show.
Welcome to Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Snickers.
Well, it's a big day for QBs as we get set to see Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and Phillip Rivers and the Colts. Two guys who have a way with words at the quarterback position as we say hello from Week 11. I cannot believe we made it to Week 11 of Sunday NFL Countdown. I'm Sam Ponder with Randy Moss, Rex Ryan, Teddy Bruschi, and Matthew Hasselbeck. A lot to get to today. You guys, we just found out that he's supposed to be called Matthew. Apparently, his mom is probably... Okay, yeah. I'm glad we got that figured out now that we've worked with you for 4 years. There's a lot of news to get to today. Been a lot of news throughout the week in the NFL. And for that, we get to our insiders, Chris Mortensen and Adam Schefter, for the top stories of the morning. Hi, guys.
Good morning. Thanks, Sam. And naturally, the top stories of the morning kind of focus on that quarterback position. We have some uncertainty with the Carolina Panthers. Quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, who sprained his right knee last week, is going to test that knee in pregame, and they will make a decision as to whether he's good to go or turn to P.J. Walker as the starter. But right now, Bridgewater hopes to play in that game against the Lions, because the Lions, they have Matthew Stafford, who injured his throwing thumb, and he was questionable all week and limited, but he's going to go. And then the Dolphins, Drew Lock, kind of a big stretch here for him in the second year as a rookie. He's got bruised ribs, he's got a muscle strain, but he's going to go ahead and play against that tough Miami Dolphins defense. And Tua Tagovailoa on the other side for the Dolphins, trying to extend their winning streak. And now for the biggest story of the day, and and obviously the week, here's Adam Schefter on the New Orleans Saints and their quarterbacks.
Thanks, Mort. That was the biggest quarterback decision of the week. Sean Payton deciding to go with Taysom Hill. This was not an easy decision. Even Sean Payton struggled to make it. And there are people in the Saints organization who still believe that Jameis Winston, not Taysom Hill, should be starting today. But ultimately, Payton made the final call. They turned to Hill. They turned to Hill because they told him he would get the chance if Breeze were hurt. And Breeze, as Ed Warner reported, suffered 11 fractured ribs, Mort.
Yeah, this is a test to what the Saints have been saying internally and behind the scenes going back to last year, which was that Taysom Hill, they saw him as perhaps their Steve Young to what Steve Young was to the 49ers and Joe Montana, and that Taysom Hill would be the guy ticketed to replace Drew Brees going forward. They're both BYU quarterbacks, Taysom Hill and Steve Young. Taysom Hill, 30 years old. Steve Young turned 30 during the year he took over from Steve Young. We'll see if Taysom Hill can catch some of that magic there, Adam.
And more, just because they're turning to Taysom Hill doesn't mean they're overlooking Jameis Winston. He's been very impressive within the organization. They have not ruled out the idea that he could wind up replacing Drew Brees after the season, when many people expect that Brees will, in fact, retire. So Winston still is square in play. It's just that he's not starting today. Taysom Hill is, Sam.
Yeah, guys, so like Adam just said, there is some debate over whether or not this is the right decision. Even internally, Randy, do you think it's the right decision to go with Taysom Hill today?
What I've been hearing for the last couple of seasons of what Sean Payton thought of Taysom Hill, and you heard Morton Adam talking about he reminds him of Steve Young. Well, today is the day for, like I said, all the talk about why Taysom Hill remains as a New Orleans Saint, because of what he does very well. He does a lot of things offensively. But to have him at the quarterback position, I'm concerned today because he's a little kamikaze. He's a little wild as a quarterback. Now he's just there to play the quarterback position. I want to see how he throws the ball today, because all the weapons that Drew Brees was throwing to, Taysom Hill has those same weapons that Drew Brees throws to. So, like I say, the Steve Young talk that we've heard for the last couple of years coming out of New Orleans, today is the day, and I want to see it.
Yeah, remember last year, I was wanting to see this move when they went to Teddy Bridgewater, and obviously all Teddy did was win all 5 games he started. So, okay, I was wrong on that one. But Sean Payton had said all along about, that's where we get the Steve Young comparison. Sean Payton said it. So I'm like, I'm excited. I want to see this thing.
Yes.
And you know, Randy, your point about this guy plays reckless. He really does, but he better keep playing reckless because that's his style. And, yeah, how long it will be, I don't know. But I can't wait to watch this young man play today. And I got to say something else. I'm looking at one other story thing that may take place. Raheem Morris is now the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. What an opportunity he has. All right, you're going to face the Saints 2 out of the next 3 weeks with no Drew Brees. He can flip 2 losses to 2 wins. He may end up keeping this job, so we'll see.
This guy's thrown 20 career passes. Is that correct? 20 career.
18 at quarterback.
18 at quarterback. I mean, how is he going to beat us if I'm the Atlanta Falcon defense as a passer, as a thrower? I mean, I hear all the Steve Young comparisons, and I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it because this is a power runner, quarterback power, bootlegs. How many bootlegs, throwback screens, and then gadget plays can you have for him to start the entire game? Is Jameis not going to see any snaps in this game? Because Atlanta can score. All right, Matt Ryan's playing well right now.
Yes.
You get down 10 points or down by 7, and you got to play this wildcat quarterback power run type of scheme. It's not going to happen. So I don't know. They need to stay on top of the NFC. They have an old quarterback in Drew Brees. When he comes back, they need the bye. Old quarterbacks survive through the playoffs with that first bye. If they don't get it, I think it's a detriment, especially now Brees is coming off these injuries. So I hope it works, because if it doesn't, I mean, if I'm in the locker room too, I'm sort of questioning it. I just want to win football games.
Yeah, and you nailed it with what you said about Matt Ryan. Nobody's been hotter since week 6 than Matt Ryan. They can put up points. Atlanta can. But I understand how Taysom Hill has earned the respect in this locker room. You guys have said it many times, how this is the guy. We looked past you last year with Teddy Bridgewater. This offseason, you trusted us. Whatever we told you in recruiting you to sign back here, hey, we're going to give you a chance. We're going to give you a chance. But quite honestly, I think it was a surprising move, because I really thought Jameis Winston looked great in that third quarter when he came in last week. He looked more like Drew Brees than he did what we've seen previously out of Jameis, in terms of trying to throw the ball downfield and being risky with the football. I would just say this that changes with Taysom Hill at quarterback. You mentioned that he's got all the same weapons that Drew Brees has. Well, he's missing one weapon. He's missing Taysom Hill, the receiver. Okay. He's missing what they got to think about with that. And so this is just I think it's a risky move. I'm rooting for Taysom. I hope he plays great. Yep. But I wouldn't be surprised if for some reason Jameis has to play also today.
Yeah, there's no doubt it's risky, but there's also the element of surprise, because this is a guy who hasn't thrown 20 passes in a game since 2016 playing Utah State. So maybe, and certainly, Sean Payton knows a lot that we don't know, and they're going to do some things we haven't seen that we didn't even know he could do. You hear people, whispers of talking about how well he throws the deep ball. We're actually going to maybe send Diana Rossini in to ask him when she catches up with Sean Payton right before the game later in the show. But for now, let's get to our opening kicks. What you're most excited to see today, Randy, start us off.
I'm starting it off with, let's take mine to Lucas Oil Stadium. Yeah, the Indianapolis Colts is at home. Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Parker. We've seen that many a time, but man, does Phillip Rivers have some weapons. Running back Nyheim Hines. I'm not worried about what he does in the running game. I'm anxious to see what Nyheim does in the passing game. And Mr. Zach Pascal, leading the team in receiving yards. An all-around solid player. Hey, Rex Ryan, Phillip Rivers has been hot ever since you called him out.
Since I called him out, since we called him out.
Well, he's been hot since we called him out. I can't wait to see this game.
Hey, fellas, let's go to Las Vegas. And the Chiefs are playing the Las Vegas Raiders, and you all know what happened in the first week. Upset by the Las Vegas Raiders in Kansas City. Can they do it again? We talking about taking victory laps around the stadium. These Chiefs are going to be motivated. Patrick Mahomes is going to be motivated. We'll see if the Las Vegas Raiders are for real and the world champs are coming into town for payback.
Hey, the biggest track game ever, right? The Steelers undefeated, 9-0 against Jacksonville Jaguars. They're playing Baltimore on Thursday. Everybody knows it. You know who doesn't know it and doesn't care? The pass rush of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They may set a sack record today. Doug Marrone, please run the ball 50 times today, please, or you're going to get Luton. It's going to be Luton-free out there, and they're going to be feasting on it.
Rex, I know you don't like Luton-free, okay? Listen, Lamar,
Absolutely.
The rematch versus the Titans, the playoff game last year. Lamar Jackson was outstanding in this game from the 20 to the 20. But two key areas where the Ravens and Lamar struggled. Red zone they struggled, and fourth down conversions. 0 for 4 last year with no yards. That was the difference in the game. The good thing for Lamar this year, The Tennessee Titans are struggling on fourth down. This is going to be an excellent matchup with playoff implications.
Yeah, a lot to pay attention to in that one. Also an interesting game down in Cleveland. A lot of rain. You know you're getting weather this time of year in Cleveland as both of these teams try and push for a playoff spot in this next month. The first matchup between Carson Wentz and Baker Mayfield.
Wake up. Hey, wake up.
This is Sunday NFL Countdown.
Coming up is Rodgers versus Rivers. But first, the Packers QB is taking you inside his secret weapon, the art of the free play.
One of the biggest helpers has been the miking up of the guards, because now everybody can hear my cadence. And then you use that against them in the game.
Plus, Sean Payton in an exclusive pregame interview on his decision to start Taysom Hill today. How Showtime Mahomes plans to avenge his only loss of the season tonight in Vegas. And why Big Ben and the undefeated Steelers have their eyes on the ultimate prize.
One goal, and it's the same goal as every year. We're looking for that 7th Lombardi.
Plus, I've got a special edition of
You Just Got Mossed.
the best Hail Mary catches of all time.